Tired of waiting, ladies and gentlemen. It's Couragus Mike, that cool, cunning, conniving cat, and I've been wanting to redo my content. I've been having some content out there on Instagram, but since my shit got hacked, I had to come back at it again, which is good because I need to build some structure up to my podcast, which is Couragus Podcast. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about evolution, social constructs or social experiments, and how they have to do with the relationship. All right, now, first of all, let's say I'm going to try to do this on a periodic motion and try to do this at least once a week so I get this going, because Couragus need him some subscribers and need him a constant flow going on here to make this more smoother. But what it is that a lot of these social constructs, a lot of these social experiments and groupings going on, like the feminist movement and the LGBT. And these people are expecting things to evolve, and they're expecting to make an impact on society and change the way it goes. But they don't understand what evolution is. They really don't understand it. And Couragus is going to explain it for you. I got the answers. I'm not know-it-all, but I do think more than most. All right. Let's just say this. We have social groups out there and social constructs like little people, blind people, hearing impaired people. Then we have everybody part of the LGBT community and stuff, right? And then we also have the feminist movement, which wants all these groups want the human race to evolve, right? They want us to change and be something different. A lot of them would argue that we are evolving right now as society, but do they really know what evolving means? Do they really know? See, technically myself, I don't believe in the evolution theory, but I know what it is. And let me explain the features. Evolution is something that's a creature or a speciesism or animal or whatever you want to, organism takes on a change within its life, right? And then within that change, it passes on down to the rest of its species, therefore introducing new species, right? This is no longer that exact species has been evolved to something different. Now, when we say evolve, what do we mean per se? Do we mean mentally or physically? Well, when we say evolve, we of course mean physically, because animals or organism has to physical make a change based on the environment to make that evolve. Now, we as people, or some people or a group of people, want to think that because our mentalities change that we are evolving, but it's not. It's something that our brain is capable of do. For example, it may not be what we tend to do or naturally adept to do, but it still is a capability of our brain that we haven't used yet. For example, there are plenty of animals and creatures that communicate with other animals and creatures, and they communicate in a different way than what they normally expect to communicate with that same animal and creatures. So they have to kind of come up with different ways to interact with that creature. For example, human beings, right? There's are animals out there doing way more stuff that it normally needs to do, identifying physical objects, colored objects, real specific objects that normal dogs can't acknowledge, and sometimes cats and other animals. And sometimes these animals are made to speak human language and stuff like that. Are taught. Are these originally things of these animals they usually do, or these are part of their evolutionary process? No. But it's a capability of a brain, because we as humans don't even use all our brains. We use 10% at a time, so stated by scientists. Whether how much it is that we use at a time, no organisms using 100% of their brain at a time, because our brain controls our physical makeup, where we subconsciously or consciously do it. For example, we have a blind man, right? They want to make a community, right? A community with blind people, right? Let's just say that blind man had a child, which is what blind people do, end up having, surprisingly. Does that child also be blind? No, it's not. It does not automatically blind until that trait is not heavily carried to make that creature evolve. Therefore, it's a different creature, right? It can't be depicted because there's a group of people for the longest who try to make a community out of their disabilities, but it doesn't work because human disabilities are not evolving. Us having disabilities, and you see other animals out there as well that will have actual disabilities, but when they get pregnant and mate, they're not carry on a disability. That's now all of a sudden that disability is erased, and you're in that base structure that's started at the beginning is there. And so that's what evolving is not. Evolving is not restarting that structure. It's carrying on a new structure, a new automatic structure. So you can't evolve while you're living, right? You only could be born with a evolutionary trait, right? So this, for example, let's say a snake is evolved with a fin on his back, right? It's mutated for some reason that now it has a fin on its tail, right? Looking more like a subaquatic creature, right? If its baby doesn't also have that, then the base structure is that, and it's not evolving. It's just a disability of the snake, that it might have been beneficial to the snake during time, but it wasn't enough to evolve it and do it. And you might see other animals, they might evolve, and they might have some type of trait, but they're not evolving as they're going. They're not like, oh wait, this branch in the way, so let me grow legs and walk over it and then push it down to my kid. Now they grow legs and stuff. No, that hasn't been happening. Now, have there been other animals evolving in this day? There's shows that there are animals that are somewhat going on, changed by different types of species and stuff of the same species evolved and stuff. But this is a debate. Someone would say that they just scientists reveal they know all these animals, but they really don't, and they're just now exploring these with new technology. But the little people community, right? They tend to get full of themselves. Like sometimes it's the deaf community and the blind community, and they want to like, yeah, we're these little people and stuff, and respect us and stuff, and get a little they get a little full of themselves, right? Just like some, some of us ladies out there, they get real big in stature and stuff, and they feel like they're too good for other guys out there, and so they try to, separate them and put themselves in a class of their own. The bad bitches and stuff like that we have out there. Now, these are not evolving. These women are not evolving. These people are not evolving. When a little person has a baby, it could be two little persons. They could both have a baby, and when they have a baby, they all of a sudden they're humbled. These people are humbled because they first had this little pride about themselves that they're not even part of the regular people and stuff. But now they had an offspring kid. So are they going to continue to be on a high horse and push and make feel like a different race of people and push their kid away? Or are they going to bring it back together and say, you know what, everybody's the same, everybody's equal, let's just treat people the same and stuff, because we're not this special type of race that we think we are. We're just another human being that has this disability. So, women, you can't change things. You can't evolve men past what they already made to believe. You can't evolve yourself past the way but made believe. A lot of you women want to be a man or play the roles of a man, and want the man to switch out his roles and be something else. But the man can only be what he can be. These new LGBT groups, they want to be something different. There are other men, and mostly men, and some women out there just want to be different than what they are. And they might have something psychology in their head saying they need to be something else or what. But in reality, there's another human with a physical flaw or a mental flaw, right? And these flaws only can be changed by the person. If they can't, then they have to stick with that flaw for the rest of their lives until they have offspring, and the offspring succeeds their flaw, right? And we come back to the original regular structure and mentality of a basic human, right? And just like when they want us to be want us, especially as black men, to be different people when we can't be nothing more than ourselves. And they should not try to be more than what they self. They should acquiesce to what they need to be for our race to continue to prosper. Now, I'm not forcing nobody to be nothing or anything. I'm just saying what's more easier for your life as a person, less confusing and less tormenting. Because when you try to separate you as a human being for yourself from other human beings, you tend to lose structure. You tend to lose a common ground. You tend to lose common respect for other human beings and stuff. That's then you're putting yourself higher than, and you're demanding things and of these other people that you feel like they're lower than you, or they're a different type of race than you are, and you're a better one. So we should humble ourselves to take ourselves back and really think about what the society is doing to us people as a whole, and how it's too many cooks in the kitchen, right? Everybody think they know the answer and stuff like that, but they don't even study to cook. They didn't study to become a chef. Honestly, they know 'em and they get popular and they feel like they're right because other people like them or think they're cute or wants to be in their good graces. So that all of a sudden they want to be all with each other. And that might sound nice and lovely, but all it is going to lead you to destruction because you have to be your own person and think for yourself. And a lot of our women today are not thinking for themselves. They're all with this feminist belief that evolves and transitions with or without them in a definition. And instead of them going back and reevaluating what they originally was there, because the movement didn't start out how it is now. It does have the same beliefs, morals, or standards. And so therefore it's a different movement with the same people and constant increasing and changing the mentalities that once were one way now to another, and it's causing more friction and destruction and chaos within society that's not allowing us to reproduce as much as we need to as a human being. So this is Couragus Mike. Embed up my talking. Please come and hit me up on YouTube at Couragus Mike, or Instagram Couragus88. That's Couragus 88. It's that cool, cunning, conniving cat. And y'all hit me up. Find me, like, share, subscribe, comment. Hit me up.